Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome into the softball field here at Milford High School, as Milford TV is happy to bring you this coverage of Scarlet Hawks softball. I am Tim Coet, getting set for a Hockomock crossover matchup today, and two very strong opponents as your Lady Scarlet Hawks get set to take on the visiting Franklin Lady Panthers, and this is a familiar matchup for anyone who watched playoff softball on Milford TV last spring. These two teams taking on one another in the preliminary round of the 2014 MIAA tournament, and Franklin was able to walk away with a narrow victory. Milford nearly coming up with a great comeback win in the 7th inning, but Franklin moving on from that game. But these two teams looking strong this year, and Milford, the start they've gotten off to, particularly on the offensive side of the ball, has been nothing short of impressive. 74 runs scored through their first 8 games of the season, averaging over 9 runs per game. They've notched double-digit runs in 4 of their first 8 games of the year. They are outscoring opponents by a combined margin of 74-11. After dropping that first game of the season 1-0, they have not lost a game since, and not many of them have been all that close either. So that red-hot offense will get set to keep things going at home today against Franklin. We will have the starting lineups and the game's first pitch next here on Milford TV. And we welcome you right back here at the softball field outside Milford High School. Both teams concluding their warm-ups here on the field, just moments away from the first pitch in this one. Again, a very big matchup between Milford and Franklin, a rematch of last year's preliminary round MIAA tournament matchup, a game that Franklin was able to just squeak out by a final score of 5-4. A big 3-run home run in that game, the key for Franklin to walk away with the victory. Milford had the tying and winning runs on base in the bottom half of the 7th inning in that game, but just could not overcome that deficit. But it's been a different story offensively for Milford this year. They have been red hot after losing their first game of the season 1-0. This has been a team on a mission offensively, and there have not been too many teams that have been able to even come close to standing in their way. We'll see if the same holds true today. It will be a tough matchup, two well-coached teams that are getting set to take the field. So without further ado, we will get right to the starting lineups for this afternoon's game. First, we will bring you the visiting Franklin Lady Panthers lineup. A fairly similar looking lineup to what they produced in 2014. Leading it off is the center fielder Erin Hanley, with Maddie Conley batting second and playing second. In the number 3 spot is the catcher Bree Flaherty, with the starting pitcher for this afternoon's game, Sabrina Lamonaco, in the cleanup spot. Christine Harvey is the designated player and bats 5th, with Alyssa De Silva, the first baseman, batting 6th. Batting 7th is the shortstop Alicia Donovan, with Olivia Haba, the left fielder, batting 8th. And in the 9 spot is the third baseman, Olivia DiGiacomo. And on the mound, as I mentioned, also in the starting lineup, the starting pitcher for Franklin is Sabrina Lamonaco. And for your Milford Lady Scarlet Hawks, their lineup looks like this. Sydney Pounds leads it off and plays center field, with Emily Pierre Gustavo, the shortstop for today's game, batting second. Taylor LeBrun bats third and catches, with Allie Pierre Gustavo in the cleanup spot playing first base. Maggie Farrell, the right fielder, bats 5th, with Caitlin DeCapua in as the designated player, batting 6th. Megan Jakes plays third base and bats 7th, with Maddie Bonvino in the starting lineup playing second base and batting 8th. And in the 9th spot is the left fielder, Jenny Levine. And on the mound, completing her warm-up tosses right now, is Allie Atherton. Just 2 pitchers being used for Coach DeVito over the course of the early part of this season, and both have been phenomenal. Allie Atherton coming into the game today with a 2.03 ERA through 5 appearances. She has 3 complete games to her credit so far on the season, 31 innings pitched. Very impressive. Just 9 earned runs allowed through those first 5 starts of the season, but having a chance to get some time out of the pitcher circle as well this year, with the production that Coach DeVito has gotten out of Kelly Reichert as well, who has been extremely effective in the starts that she has made on the season as well. But it is Atherton who gets the nod today in this matchup against Franklin. And the warm-up toss is concluded out there on the field. The leadoff hitter, Erin Hanley for Franklin, about to step into the batter's box as softball is just about underway here in Milford. A little bit breezy today, certainly nothing like what we experienced with the baseball game earlier in the week. The sun trying to peek through the clouds, so fairly decent conditions. No rain expected in the area over the course of this game. Erin Hanley in the box. Allie Atherton steps on the rubber, ready to throw her first pitch. Into her windup, here it comes. And it is in there for a called strike one. Erin Hanley, a right-handed batter, batted leadoff for this Franklin team in that playoff matchup last season. Here's the 0-1 pitch. It's hit on the ground towards third base, stabbed on the backhand over there. The long throw doesn't get there in time. It was a bit of a slow rolling ground ball. A very nice job by Megan Jakes at third base to snag it quickly and release the throw, but too much speed out of the leadoff hitter Hanley, and she is aboard with an infield single. On first base now ahead of Maddie Conley, the second baseman. Swings away at a high pitch, comes up empty for strike one. Atherton staring in, now fires. A swing and a miss for strike two. Taylor LeBrun, the catcher, looking the runner back to first base. A quick 0-2 count. Atherton's next pitch too far inside. Had Conley backing away from the plate. 1-2 now the count. Atherton having some first inning issues in the game we covered last week, but gets a ground ball right back to the circle, fires quickly to first base. It was in and out of the glove. Probably not a chance for a double play anyway with the speed of the batter. So Atherton goes the sure route to first base to get the first out of the inning. Conley retired 1-3. And Erin Hanley advances to second base with now one out. And Bree Flaherty stepping into the box, starting catcher for the Lady Panthers. The windup and the pitch up high for ball one. The Sun continuing to try to make an appearance here in this afternoon showdown. Here's the 0-1 pitch. Two balls and no strikes now the count. Hanley stepping on that second base bag as this one is hit on the ground to shortstop. The runner will advance to third. The throw to first base is there in time for the out. Flaherty grounds out 6-3, handled cleanly at shortstop by Emily Pierre-Gustavo when we covered the home opener for the Lady Hawks a couple of weeks back. Emily Pierre-Gustavo getting the start at second base, sliding over to shortstop with Maddie Bonvino in the starting lineup today, playing second. Two down now for Sabrina Lamonaco. And Atherton starts behind in the count, 0-1, pitching to her counterpart. Lamonaco, a very dangerous hitter in all of the Hockomock League. And delivers a line drive out to center field, but positioned well is Sydney Pounds. She makes the catch. Very good contact for Lamonaco, but Sydney Pounds is able to make the catch for the out that ends the inning. Franklin strands a runner at third base. The Lady Hawks will take their first swings of the game when we return here on Milford TV. Sydney Pounds getting set to pace this Milford Lady Hawks offense once again. About to step into the right side batter's box. She will be followed by Emily Pierre-Gustavo and Taylor LeBrun here in the bottom of the first inning. Allie Atherton surrendering an infield single in the top half of the inning, but Franklin unable to capitalize. And now Sabrina Lamonaco, who hit that ringing line drive that ended up in the glove of Sydney Pounds, delivers in strike one. Next pitch chopped in front of the plate, fielded by the pitcher. The throw to first base gets there in time to retire the speedy Pounds. 1-3 on the ground out. And now Emily Pierre-Gustavo, who by last check was the Hockomock League leading hitter in terms of batting average for softball. She steps in as the #2 hitter in this lineup. The legend of Emily Pierre-Gustavo continuing to grow here in her freshman year. Incredible numbers to start her first year of varsity softball here at the high school level. .613 the batting average heading into the game today. 1 ball and 1 strike is the count. Pierre-Gustavo with 3 doubles on the season, also a home run, 12 runs batted in. 12 RBI through the first 8 games of the season. Now finds herself ahead in the count, 2 balls and 1 strike. 1 out and the bases empty here in the bottom of the first. Lamonaco's next pitch swung on and missed. Pierre-Gustavo behind that pitch from Lamonaco, and now the count evens at 2. And now a swing and a miss. Pierre-Gustavo down on strikes. 2 up and 2 down for Milford here in the first, and now here is Taylor LeBrun. Coach DeVito flip-flopping LeBrun and Pierre-Gustavo. Ali Pierre-Gustavo, his 2 captains in the batting order from his early lineups on the season. First pitch strike in this at bat. Now a 1 ball, 1 strike count. LeBrun batting .483 on the season. Also in double digits in runs batted in with 13. Here's the pitch. 2 balls and 1 strike. Good contingents of fans from both sides taking in the ball game this afternoon. Here comes the 2-1 pitch. It's hit on the ground up the middle. That will get through for a base hit. And for LeBrun, it's now hit number 15 in the early days of this season. She singles to keep the inning alive and give her co-captain Ali Pierre-Gustavo a chance to bat here in the first. And Kate Irwin will head over to first base as a courtesy runner for LeBrun. Here is the elder Pierre-Gustavo, the senior. Ali Pierre-Gustavo swings at the first pitch, pops it up. This will make its way over the backstop and onto the bleachers next to the third base dugout, scattering a few fans in the process. One ball and no strikes. Check that, no balls and 1 strike. With 2 outs and a runner at first base. The next pitch, this is to the opposite field, but it will hang up on the infield for the second baseman, Maddie Connolly, to make the catch. Pierre-Gustavo swinging at that pitch in on the hands, floats it harmlessly to second base for the out that ends the inning, so each side strands a runner in the first inning. We've played 1, it is scoreless here in Milford as we bring you coverage of Lady Hawks softball on Milford TV. Batters 5, 6, and 7 due up for the Lady Panthers as we enter into inning number 2. Neither side scoring in the first inning. And now a swing and a miss from the designated player, Christine Harvey, gets this top of the second inning started. Allie Atherton ready with her 0-1. Outside and low, and that evens the count. The 1-1 pitch, that misses as well. 2-1 now the count. Milford's last game came on April 27th at Stoughton. A tremendous 14-0 victory. A swing and a miss here evens the count once again at 2. Allie Atherton had the day off on the mound in that game against Stoughton. It was Kelly Reichert who notched the complete game shutout victory. So Atherton well rested for this game. Here's the 2-2 pitch off the end of the bat. It's cued foul. And the count stays at 2 balls and 2 strikes to the first batter of the second inning. Christine Harvey putting up a good at bat. Seeing a lot of pitches from Atherton. Alyssa De Silva, the first baseman, waits on deck. The 2-2 pitch hit in the air out to center field. Ranging back is Sydney Pounds, but she has it sized up with plenty of room. A fly ball out to lead off this inning. Leadoff batter retired, and now De Silva steps in. That's back-to-back batters with pretty decent contact against Atherton. Lamonaco flying out, or excuse me, lining out to end the first inning, and now that relatively deep fly out from Christine Harvey. A called strike 1 into De Silva. This one is hit on the ground to third base, in and out of the glove of the third baseman, Jax, and safely reaching at first base with no throw is De Silva. We saw Jax handle a hot shot cleanly down there at third base in the first, but could not do so this time. So an error on the third baseman allows De Silva to reach with 1 out in the inning. And now here is Alicia Donovan, the shortstop. Takes that called strike on the inner edge. The windup and the pitch. Line drive back up the middle. No time for Atherton to react. She was the only one who had a chance to make a play on that ball. It quickly snuck through the middle of the infield. And Franklin putting something together here in the top of the second inning. 2 on with 1 out. The second hit of the day off of Allie Atherton. De Silva now at second base with Donovan at first, and here is Olivia Haba. First pitch of the at-bat is in for a called strike. Good location on that pitch from Atherton as she works ahead in the count. Getting into a bit of a jam here in inning number 2. The 0-1 is hit in the air out to right center field. Making the catch is Maggie Farrell. The runners hold. Second out of the inning recorded. De Silva opting not to test the arm of the Milford right fielder, Maggie Farrell. 2 down now, and it's up to the number 9 hitter in the Franklin lineup, Olivia DiGiacomo. Atherton's first pitch is high for ball 1. Franklin with a lineup featuring the starting pitcher and a designated player, Rachel Cosino, the right fielder for Franklin, flexed out of the lineup, only playing defensively. DiGiacomo battling at a count of 1 ball and 1 strike with 2 outs and runners at first and second base. The next pitch. just a bit high. 2-1 now the count. The top of the Franklin order lurking on deck. Atherton hoping to end the inning here as this pitch is popped up behind home plate and just up and over the backstop, actually hitting off of where the fencing juts out at an angle in towards the field. Close to being the third out, but another chance for DiGiacomo now with a 2-ball, 2-strike count. Atherton ready. Here's her pitch, and it's swung on and missed for strike 3. That one dropping out of the strike zone. DiGiacomo chases. It's the first strikeout for Atherton in the game. And Franklin strands 2 more runners on base. They've stranded 3 through the first 2 innings. And onto the home half of the second we go, still scoreless, as we bring you coverage of Milford High School athletics here on Milford TV. Franklin has threatened in each of the first 2 innings, but no runs to show for it so far, and 0-0 tie as Maggie Farrell leads things off for the Lady Hawks here in the bottom of the second and takes a pitch high for ball 1. Farrell up now, Caitlin DeCapua and Megan Jakes to follow. Sabrina Lamonaco's second pitch of the inning is sliced foul and out of play. It's another busy day of athletics outside here at Milford High School with all of the athletic facilities in use as this ball is hit in foul ground off to the right, just at the edge of the field of play. It is the right fielder, Rachel Cosino, who's able to make the catch. And Farrell is retired for out number 1. Defensively, Franklin looks like this. It's Bree Flaherty behind the plate with Olivia DiGiacomo at third, Alicia Donovan at short, Maddie Connolly at second, excuse me, and Elisa De Silva at first base. Swinging early in the count, Caitlin DeCapua grounding out for the second out of the inning. Left to right in the outfield for Franklin, it is Olivia Haba, Erin Hanley, and Rachel Cosino. With Sabrina Lamonaco on the mound, she's gathered the first 2 outs quickly in this bottom of the second inning. Megan Jakes takes a called strike 1 at the knees. You can see Lamonaco can really bring the heat. Her 0-1 pitch in on the hands, grounded foul. No balls and 2 strikes in the inning with the bases empty. This pitch is hit foul just beyond the reach of head coach Steve DeVito over in the third base coach's area. Coach DeVito without much to complain about in the early days of this season, watching his team rattle off 8 consecutive victories. The most wins in the Davenport division. As this pitch is in there for a called strike 3. 2 strikeouts now in the outing for Sabrina Lamonaco, who enjoys a very quick 1-2-3 inning here in the second. We are through with 2 from Milford High School, scoreless, as we bring you coverage of Lady Hawks softball on Milford TV. It was a heavy cloud cover when the game began about 30 minutes ago. But as you can see now, the sun has fully broken through. It's turned into a very pleasant afternoon here in Milford. 58 degrees here at field level as the Milford Lady Hawks and the Franklin Lady Panthers enter into inning number 3. The Kelly Rex Division Franklin Panthers set to bring the top of their order to the plate here against Allie Atherton. Erin Hanley led off the top of the first inning with an infield single, turns to bunt, and hits it foul. Setting that one down in the batter's box. 0-1 the count. Atherton's had to work a bit here in the early innings, but has yet to yield a run. This ball is driven out to center field, but an easy play for Sydney Pounds, who makes the catch. One down now, and the second baseman, Maddie Conley, taking her second at bat of the game. Conley reached base 3 times and scored a run in Franklin's postseason victory over Milford in 2014. Takes a pitch in for a called strike 1. The 0-1 pitch on the way. This one too far inside. Base is empty with 1 out. Top of inning number 3. Two and 1 now the count. Atherton ready with her next pitch. It looked like that one may have slipped out of the hands. Staying too far outside, and now a 3-ball, 1-strike count on Conley. With the big hitters in this Franklin lineup getting set to take their at-bats. This pitch low and inside for ball 4. So after starting out with strike 1, it's 4 straight out of the zone from Atherton. Her first walk of the game. It puts a runner at first base now for Bree Flaherty, who grounded out to the shortstop in her first at bat. And this pitch is hit hard down the right field line, but foul. First pitch strike, as the Franklin catcher lined that one into foul territory. Here comes the pitch. Missing low. These Franklin hitters have been patient with Atherton in the early innings. The 1-1 pitch, that's up high. Dancing off of first base was Conley, but she retreats. And Atherton falling behind again. 2 balls and 1 strike the count. And this one hit in the air out to center field. A long run in for Sydney Pounds. She has to play it on a hop. That one briefly getting behind Sydney Pounds, but not far enough for Conley to chance heading to third base. A single for Bree Flaherty, and 2 on with 1 out ahead of Sabrina Lamonaco. And a courtesy runner coming out for the Franklin catcher. Just a bit of confusion momentarily for the umpires to determine who in fact was coming out to run. Franklin bringing Maddie Bressler, number 17, out to run for Flaherty. She's at first base with Maddie Conley at second. And a tough spot for Atherton, having to face the cleanup hitter Sabrina Lamonaco. Sends the first pitch low for ball 1. the second consecutive inning in which Atherton has faced a 2-on situation. This ball hit on the ground to shortstop. They'll go to first base for the only out. LaMonaco grounding out to Emily Pierre-Gustavo at short. It advances each base runner as Bressler, the courtesy runner, moves up to second base, Connolly to third. And now a chance for Christine Harvey. Looks at a pitch outside for ball one. Here comes the 1-0. Missing again. A lot of high leverage pitches over these last two innings for Allie Atherton, looking to get out of danger again. Harvey flew out to center field in her last at bat. Here's the pitch, up high for ball three. Christine Harvey in the driver's seat now, 3 balls and no strikes. Plenty of chatter coming out of the Franklin dugout along the first base line. The 3-0 pitch is hit off the end of the bat, foul down the third base line. Such a tough position at third base defensively in softball. Literally no time to react to those hard ground balls. That one going foul to bring the count to 3-1. Atherton's pitch outside for ball 4, and they are loaded up. The second walk of the inning for Allie Atherton. And the Milford infield coming in to talk things over with the starting pitcher now. Taylor LeBrun joining in the conversation. A bases loaded 2-out jam. With Alyssa De Silva, the first baseman, coming up. She reached on an error back in the second inning. Hit a hard ground ball to third base that Jakes could not handle cleanly. A Franklin runner at every base as this at bat begins between Alyssa De Silva and Allie Atherton. Here's the first pitch, and it is inside for ball 1. The command wavering for Atherton. Behind in the count, 1-0. Here's the next pitch, and that's in for a strike. One ball, 1 strike, 2 outs in the inning. The next pitch, this is hit on the ground, and it gets through for a hit. 1 run comes in to score, and now caught between third base and the plate, and out for the 3rd out of the inning is the runner Maddie Bressler. And so that will end the rally for Franklin. They settle for 1 run on the RBI single by Alyssa De Silva. And a 1-0 lead now for Franklin as we head on to the bottom half of the 3rd inning here on Milford TV. Franklin takes a 1-0 lead, but all things considered, it could have been a lot worse for the Lady Hawks. Allie Atherton allowing that RBI single with the bases loaded and 2 outs in the inning, but a little bit of indecision on the bases by Maddie Bressler allowed Taylor LeBrun to throw her out at third base to conclude the inning. A 1 run on 4 hits now through the first 3 innings for this Franklin offense. And meanwhile, Milford looking to get something going against Sabrina Lamonaco, who breezed through the second inning. Maddie Bonvino leading it off for the home team, a 2-ball, 1-strike count. And hits this pitch foul off the backstop. Maddie Bonvino batting an even .400 coming into this game. This is the 6th game in which she has appeared. A full count now, 3 balls and 2 strikes. Here's the pitch. A line drive out to the gap in left center field. That's going to hit over the fence for a home run. That one hitting right off the top of the fence out in left center field. It ricocheted over the fence. And a solo home run for Maddie Bonvino instantly ties up the game at 1. So quite a momentum swing for Milford as they were able to escape the top half of this inning, allowing just the 1 run. And they get it right back courtesy of the solo shot by Bonvino. And now Jenny Levine with the slash that hangs up for the third baseman Olivia DiGiacomo, who makes the catch. So 1 out now as the lineup turns over. Sydney Pounds up for the 2nd time. Base is empty with 1 out as Pounds takes a pitch on the inside edge for strike 1. A light breeze blowing from left to right across the Milford softball field. And Pounds swinging away at a pitch up and out of the strike zone, and you could see her shake her head right after the swing. 0-2 the count. Pounds grounding out to the pitcher back in the 1st inning. Here's the 0-2. Pounds protecting the plate. She shoots it foul off to the right, out of play. Plenty of fans taking in the game along the right field line. And fans collected in each set of bleachers along the 1st and 3rd base lines next to each of the dugouts. The 0-2 pitch from Lamonaco floats upstairs. 1 ball and 2 strikes now the count. Emily Pierre Gustavo waiting on deck. And now in on the hands. Pounds sends it foul on a line right to the backstop. Sydney Pounds hanging tough after falling behind 0-2. Here's the next pitch. This is out to shallow center field. A diving catch made out there by Erin Hanley, completely laying out. Getting that one right in the fingertips of the glove and holding on as she landed on the turf. What a play by the Franklin center fielder. So 2 outs now in the inning, and Emily Pierre Gustavo coming up to the plate. And Pierre Gustavo swings at the first pitch, a shallow fly ball, stays on the infield dirt. The shortstop makes the catch and the inning is over, but a leadoff solo home run by Maddie Bonvino has tied the game. It is Milford 1 and Franklin 1 as we move on to the top of the 4th inning here on coverage of Milford High School softball on Milford TV. Milford with only 2 hits through the first 3 innings of this game. However, one of those hits carried over the left center field fence. And as a result, this game is tied up at 1 as we enter into the 4th inning. The bottom third of the Franklin lineup coming to the plate against Allie Atherton, who would certainly welcome a easier inning after what she's experienced in the previous 2 frames. Starts off with a called strike against Alicia Donovan, who singled back in the 2nd inning. Now shoots one on the ground to second base. That one changing directions a couple of times on Maddie Bonvino, but she stays with it and makes the throw to first base for the out. Four to 3 on the ground out. And now here's the left fielder, Olivia Haba. She flew out to right field in her only at bat so far on the day. Takes a pitch too far inside, starting off ahead in the count 1-0. The next pitch from Atherton is hit foul, landing in front of the visitors' dugout. No chance for pitcher, catcher, or first baseman to try to make a play on that ball. It just didn't hang up long enough. And the count evens at 1. Everyone confirming the count of 1 ball and 1 strike before we continue. Atherton ready to deliver her next pitch, a half swing from Haba, and she delivers it foul. The on-deck hitter, Olivia DiGiacomo, having to scoot out of the way of that foul ball. Pace slowing down here a bit for Atherton. Here's the 1-2 pitch, and that is in for a called strike 3. The second strikeout of the outing for Allie Atherton. That brings the second out here of the top of the 4th, and now here is Olivia DiGiacomo. Atherton's other strikeout victim, she struck out back in the 2nd inning. Stranding runners at 1st and 2nd base. Batting here with the bases empty, and swings and misses to start off on an 0-1 count. Atherton looking for a 1-2-3 inning. Here's the pitch, looking to bunt is DiGiacomo, and she sends it foul to the right. 0-2 the count, 2 outs, and the bases clear. Atherton 1 pitch away from a nice and easy inning. She settles on the pitching rubber. Winds and deals. This pitch lined to shortstop. The catch made there on the move by Emily Pierre-Gustavo. And it is indeed a 1-2-3 top of the 4th inning. Right on to the home half of the inning we go. Still tied up at 1 here on coverage of Milford High School softball on Milford TV. Taylor LeBrun steps into the batter's box, about to lead things off for the Lady Hawks lineup here in the bottom of the 4th inning. Against Sabrina Lamonaco, who delivers ball 1. Again, Lamonaco has only surrendered 2 hits to this potent Milford lineup, and you can make it 3 as LeBrun lines this pitch down the left field line. Bobbled just a bit out there by Olivia Haba. But it would have been a double nonetheless for Taylor LeBrun, putting a big swing on that pitch, lining it up over the extended glove of DiGiacomo at 3rd. And LeBrun stands in scoring position to lead things off here in the 4th. Now here is Allie Pierre-Gustavo, who lined out to second base in her previous at-bat. Takes a pitch upstairs for ball one. Allie Pierre-Gustavo hitting .452 on the season. Takes a pitch, just grabbing the inside edge to even up the count at 1-1. Emily Pierre-Gustavo with 11 runs batted in on the season. She does have 1 home run. Takes a big swing at that pitch, but fouls it right at the plate to bring the count to 1-2. 14 hits so far on the season for Pierre-Gustavo in 31 at-bats. She scored 9 runs. That pitch high, and the count evens at 2-2. Taylor LeBrun at second base with no outs here in the bottom of the 4th inning. Lamonaco's next pitch is hit on the ground to third base. They check the runner back to second base before firing to first for the out. A nice play at third by Olivia DiGiacomo, making sure Taylor LeBrun stayed put at the second base bag before collecting the out at first. One down now with Maggie Farrell coming up. Farrell 0 for 1. She flew out in foul ground out down the right field line in her last at bat. The 0-1 pitch, a swing and a miss. A high fastball that snuck past the bat of Farrell. Now Farrell looking to hang in there with a 0-2 count. Lays off that pitch that misses. One ball and 2 strikes the count. LeBrun remaining at second base as this pitch is hit in the air to shortstop. Positioned perfectly was Alicia Donovan to make the catch. And so Taylor LeBrun was at second base with no outs in the inning. She remains there now with 2 down. And Milford looking for something out of the bat of Caitlin DeCapua to bring that runner home. Here's the pitch. DeCapua wanted to pull the trigger, but instead takes a called strike 1. One ball and 1 strike now the count. A close pitch just misses high. The Milford bench trying to will a hit out of Caitlin DeCapua to keep this inning going. Here's the pitch, a swing and a miss. Late movement, sending that pitch underneath the bat of Caitlin DeCapua. 1 ball, 2 strikes, 2 outs in the inning. And that one swung on and missed for strike 3. Tough pitching out of Sabrina Lamonaco in the inning. She allows the leadoff double, but then gets Allie Pierre-Gustavo, Maggie Farrell, and Caitlin DeCapua to end the threat. And we move on to inning number 5, a fast-moving ball game so far, a 1-1 tie between Milford and Franklin here on Milford TV. 1 run, 4 hits, and no errors for the Franklin Lady Panthers. 1 run, 3 hits, and 1 error for the Milford Lady Scarlet Hawks as we get started here in the top of the 5th inning. First pitch swinging. Erin Hanley sends one foul down the third base line. Megan Jakes letting that one kick foul before fielding it. Milford stranding a runner in scoring position in the bottom of the fourth. Now Allie Atherton back out in the circle for inning number 5 and a quick 0-2 count. Atherton coming off of her best inning so far, getting a 1-2-3 top of the fourth. And now gets a waving swing and a miss out of Hanley to open up the 5th inning. Three strikeouts now in the game for Atherton. She's now retired 4 in a row as Maddie Conley steps in. Conley worked a 1-out walk that sparked the rally for Franklin in the 3rd inning, in which they were able to tally their run. Conley coming home to score that run. Now looking to bunt. She offers at it and misses. And the count evens at a ball and a strike. 1 out and the base is empty here in the top of the 5th. Atherton's pitch is lined out into center field. That drops down for a base hit in front of Sydney Pounds. The 5th hit of the day for Franklin puts a runner on base ahead of Bree Flaherty, who is 1 for 2. Flaherty takes a pitch high and tight for ball 1. Flaherty reaching on a single in the 3rd inning. She was then lifted for a courtesy runner, and it was that pinch runner Maddie Bressler who was thrown out on the bases to end the rally. Off the end of the bat, Flaherty delivers it foul up against the visitors' dugout. 1 ball, 1 strike, 1 out, a runner at first base for the Lady Panthers. The pitch up high sends the count to 2-1. That one up around the chin, but going around with the bat was Flaherty. Trying to spin out of the way of that high and tight pitch, but the bat traveling through the strike zone. So now a 2-ball, 2-strike count and a gift strike for Atherton. Now ready with her next pitch, and it's a swing and a miss. Gets Flaherty to chase the outside pitch. 2 strikeouts in the inning for Atherton, who's up to 4 Ks now in her outing, but now must deal with Sabrina Lamonaco. And Coach DeVito out from the 3rd base dugout to talk things over with the entire Lady Hawks contingent, the infield and outfield joining in on this conference. And this is part of a big stretch of the season for the Lady Hawks playing Franklin today. They will face some stiff competition in their next several games. They will take on the 1st place team in the Kelly Rex division, the undefeated Taunton Lady Tigers, in their next game coming up on May 1st. That's on the road. Then they come back home to take on King Philip and North Attleboro. So 3 very tough competitors coming up on the schedule. Milford putting their hot start to the test. Playing 4 straight games against Kelly Rex competition. Atherton ready now to deal with Lamonaco. She sends the first pitch in low for ball 1. Lamonaco lined out hard to center field in her first at bat, then grounded out to the shortstop. 0 for 2 on the day, but certainly a threat to leave the yard. Here comes the 1-0 pitch. Going after that low pitch and sending it foul to the backstop. Things getting quiet on the field for a moment now. The chatter rising up again out of both dugouts. A runner on first base with 2 outs in the inning for Franklin. And a 1-1 pitch on the way. Hit foul behind first base. Ali Pierre-Gustavo going as far as she could, but that one beyond the field of play. And it's a 1-2 count. Atherton ready. Here is her pitch. Keeping it low, it bounces in, and the runner moves up to second base without a throw. So the go-ahead run now in scoring position for Franklin. 2 balls and 2 strikes with 2 outs. Atherton winds and fires and freezes Lamonaco with a called strike 3. And the inning is over. Atherton strikes out the side in the inning. Now has 5 strikeouts in the game, and we move on to the bottom of the 5th. And it remains tied at 1 here on Milford TV. Milford is not engaged in too many pitchers' duels in the early stages of this season, but they have one on their hands here. Excellent pitching on both sides so far between Allie Atherton of Milford and Sabrina Lamonaco of Franklin. Lamonaco fires ball 1 into the leadoff hitter for Milford in this bottom of the 5th inning, Megan Jakes. She'll be followed by Maddie Bonvino and Jenny Levine. It is the bottom 3rd of the Milford lineup as this one twists foul and out of play off to the right. Jakes a strikeout victim back in the 2nd inning. Milford has only seen 3 batters reach base against Lamonaco, but fortunately, Maddie Bonvino coming through with a solo home run back in the 3rd inning that tied the game at 1, and we remain tied. 2 balls and 1 strike the count. Called strike evens the count at 2. A similar pitch from Lamonaco is the one that Atherton delivered that froze Sabrina Lamonaco in the batter's box to conclude the last inning, as this is a line shot foul down the left field line. Jake's getting that one over the glove of the 3rd baseman, but fortunately for Franklin, it did not stay in fair ground. 2-2 the count. And this pitch away. The catcher, Bree Flaherty, skidding over behind the left side batter's box. The Milford bench showing their support. The payoff pitch is hit on 1 hop to second base. And it looked like Megan Jakes was hobbling a bit as she headed down the line, maybe favoring that left hamstring. That one going as a 4-3 ground out to start off the bottom of the 5th. Now here is Maddie Bonvino. Lining a solo shot that ticked up and over the fence in left center field. It hit right off the top of the fence, but careened over. tying the game at 1-1. The count now even at 1 ball and 1 strike. Lamonaco's next pitch is swung on and missed. Bonvino digs back in, waits for the pitch. This one drifts too far outside. The count even at 2 with the next pitch on the way. Bonvino swinging away at a high pitch. Sends it foul up over the warm-up area off to the left beyond the third base dugout. Bonvino hanging tough against the hard-throwing Sabrina Lamonaco. Another 2-2 pitch and fouled straight back. That one ringing hard against the backstop as Bonvino waits for a pitch she can drive. Hits this one on the ground to third base, scooped up by DiGiacomo. She throws across in time to record the out. We've seen some real solid play at third base from Franklin in this game. DiGiacomo doing a nice job on these hard ground balls. 2 outs and the base is empty for the number 9 hitter, Jenny Levine. Levine 0 for 1. Lined out softly on a slash attempt to third base. One ball and 1 strike the count. Sydney Pounds on deck, hoping to get a chance in the inning. 2-1 now the count. Levine, one of the few lefty bats in this Milford lineup. Ahead in the count now, 3 balls and a strike. Levine taking all the way. She takes strike 2, and now the scoreboard filled up. 3 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs in the inning. The next pitch on the way from Sabrina Lamonaco, and that one is fouled up over towards the football field. And Levine will see another pitch. She sets up deep in that left side batter's box. And here's the pitch. It is outside for ball 4. Nice at bat by the number 9 hitter. She works the walk. It is just the first walk surrendered by Sabrina Lamonaco in her outing. And it does indeed give Sydney Pounds a chance. Sydney Pounds bailing out on that first pitch. It stays in the zone for strike 1. Eleven hits so far and 24 at-bats on the season, now 26 at-bats, including the 2 she's had this afternoon. As that pitch sailed straight to the backstop. Thankful for this backstop separating our broadcast position from the field of play. It's a 1 ball, 1 strike count as the runner now moves into scoring position at second base on that wild pitch. Pounds now ahead in the count, 2 balls and 1 strike. Pounds a ground out. Back to the mound in the first inning, a line out to center field in the third. Here's the 2-1 pitch, in for a called strike 2. The go-ahead run in scoring position for the Lady Hawks with 2 outs here in the bottom of the 5th. Lamonaco's next pitch, and that one just misses. The Franklin side desperately wanting the strike 3 call. They don't get it, and instead it's a full count. And too much time taken now between pitcher and catcher, and Sydney Pounds is granted time. The Franklin battery making sure they're on the same page before this next pitch is thrown. The payoff pitch in on the hands, and it lands foul over behind the first base dugout. A pivotal point in this game. Tied 1-1, that go-ahead run at second base. And Sydney Pounds locked in a good battle with Sabrina Lamonaco. Another 3-2 pitch. Sydney Pounds sending it foul towards the backstop on the ground. That pitch may have been a little bit low, but Pounds not willing to take the chance. Everyone on the edge of their seat awaiting another 3-2 pitch, and it's another foul ball from Sydney Pounds, this one twisting off towards the parking lot. What an at-bat being put on by Sydney Pounds, fouling off pitch after pitch. Pounds is ready. And now Lamonaco is ready. Another 3-2 pitch, and this one sliced foul again off to the right. The Milford bench doing all they can to support the hitter at the plate, Sydney Pounds. Here we go again. And this one is swung on and missed for strike 3. So what a great battle between Lamonaco and Pounds. It is the Franklin pitcher who is able to win that battle. And Milford strands the go-ahead run in scoring position. We've played 5 full now for Milford High School, and it remains a 1-1 tie. On to the 6th inning we go next here on Milford TV. Well, it's been quite a performance so far out of the Franklin starting pitcher, Sabrina Lamonaco. Coming into this game this afternoon, facing a Milford offense that again has scored 74 total runs on the year. Coming into this game today, they've scored at least 7 runs in 6 of their first 8 games of the season, but right now, just a single run in Milford's column. As we head to the late stages of this softball game, tied up at 1, and first pitch swinging. Christine Harvey sends a foul ball up over the backstop off towards the tennis courts here at Milford High School. Allie Atherton continuing to pitch for the Lady Hawks, delivers one outside to even up the count at a ball and a strike. Comfortable spring afternoon for softball here in Milford. There's a 1-1 pitch. Offering at it was Christine Harvey, a pitch that appeared to be inside. It ended up glancing off the glove of Taylor LeBrun, rolling to the backstop, but it's a 1-ball, 2-strike count on the leadoff hitter here in the top of the 6th. Atherton's next pitch misses outside. A foul ball again off the backstop. And you can see that these are two disciplined lineups. Two well-coached teams, not giving away at bats, fouling off tough pitches, taking pitches out of the zone. There have not been a lot of quick and easy at bats on either side all day long. As this one is hit off the end of the bat, foul down the third base line. Scooped up in foul ground by Megan Jakes. Both of these pitchers reaching high pitch counts as we play on in this 6th inning. Here's another 2-2 pitch, a little bit low. Not chasing was Harvey. She worked a walk in her last at bat back in the 3rd inning. That loaded the bases for Franklin in that inning that they scored their run. A 3-2 pitch coming up from Atherton. It misses outside and low for ball 4. And the leadoff batter is aboard here in the 6th inning for the Lady Panthers. They will send Rachel Cosino out to run for Christine Harvey. Cosino playing defensively in this game out in right field, but not in the lineup. Every base runner crucial here in the late innings. The leadoff runner aboard for Franklin. Christine Harvey working her 2nd walk of the game. And now here is Alyssa Da Silva, who has the lone Franklin RBI so far in the game. Turning to bunt, sends it hard down the first base line, but it kicks foul. Da Silva also reached on an error, so she's been on base twice. Nothing in 1 the count with no outs and a runner aboard at first base. Again looking to bunt. The runner takes off for second base. The throw getting there in time, but Pierre Gustavo couldn't hang on to it in the glove. If she had, in all likelihood, Harvey would have been out, or excuse me, the courtesy runner Cosino would have been out, but instead safe at second base. Nothing in 2 the count on the batter. Now this one hit on the ground to shortstop. Pierre Gustavo going to first base for the out. And they get the double play at third base. The runner taking off from second, and the out recorded. So the base is now empty with 2 outs. What a turn of events. After Cosino had advanced to second base, Da Silva grounding out, and then the throw to third base getting there in time, as now this ball sneaks underneath the glove of Bonvino at second base, so that base running miscue now further enhanced after the 2-out base hit by Alicia Donovan. What ball game this has been. 2 outs now, a runner at first base. Tied at 1, and a very high pitch from Allie Atherton, and a great job by Taylor LeBrun, leaping up to keep that ball from going to the backstop, and in the process keeping the runner at first. Now a line drive out to right center field. Into the dive is Maggie Farrell, and she makes the catch. The second tremendous defensive play we've seen in the outfield in this game. We saw it out of Franklin earlier, and now the diving grab made in right field by Maggie Farrell. And this one ends the top of the 6th inning. And we play on tied at 1 here at Milford High School as you enjoy quite a ball game between Milford and Franklin on Milford TV. These two teams meeting in the playoffs a year ago. This game feeling like a playoff game here in 2015. What an unbelievable performance by both of these teams through the first 5.5 innings. A 1-1 tie. The starting pitcher back out there for Franklin, Sabrina Lamonaco. Dishing in 2 quick strikes to Emily Pierre Gustavo, who's had a tough day so far, a strikeout and a pop out. And strikes out here on 3 pitches against Lamonaco. So Pierre Gustavo coming in as the hottest hitter in the league, but a credit to Lamonaco, who's been able to keep Emily Pierre Gustavo's bat quiet. 1 out in the inning now for Taylor LeBrun, who is 2 for 2. She's seen the ball well out of the hand of Lamonaco this afternoon. Now delivers a first pitch line drive out to right field. They send the throw back in, but not in time. It is the 3rd hit of the day for Taylor LeBrun. And it's just the 4th hit in the game for Milford, so 4 hits in all, and LeBrun has 3 of them all by herself. A runner at first base now for Allie Pierre Gustavo. Starts off with a count of 0-1. Pierre Gustavo looking for her first hit. The runner takes off for second base. The throw down is there in time. Kay Irwin running at first base for Taylor LeBrun. Caught trying to steal second. And the big plays in this game continue. The bases are empty now with 2 outs. A 1-ball, 1-strike count. As Pierre Gustavo hits a high fly ball, twisting towards the fence, and it is over the fence for a home run. That one just kept drifting out there in left field. And over the fence, the 2nd home run of the day for Milford, and this one giving the team a 2-1 lead. At first glance, it didn't look like it was going to quite have the distance. Olivia Haba out there in left field tracking it as far as she could, but just sneaking over the wall. And with 2 outs here in the bottom of the 6th inning, Milford breaks this 1-1 tie with that solo shot. So now here's Maggie Farrell looking to keep things going. Lamonaco's 1-0 pitch. That's floated foul and out of play. So Allie Pierre Gustavo hitting her 2nd home run of the season, coming at a crucial time in this game. Lamonaco taking something off that pitch, but it stayed high. 2 balls and a strike. Looking ahead to the top of the 7th inning, Franklin will be bringing batters 9, 1, and 2 to the plate. As this is a line drive in and out of the glove of the pitcher. It rolls out behind second base, and Farrell will reach. So more frustration for Lamonaco, nearly snagging that line drive for the final out of the inning. But just could not secure it, and it's a 2-out single for Maggie Farrell. Back-to-back hits for Milford, the first time they have achieved that today. A chance now for Caitlin DeCapua, who has grounded out and struck out today. She sends the first pitch on the ground foul to the backstop. Farrell, the runner at first base, 2 outs in the inning. Milford grabbing a run here to take a 2-1 lead. Here's the pitch. Hit hard but foul off towards the parking lot. 2 strikes on the batter.
Come on, Caitlin.
Monaco is ready. This pitch is hit slowly on the ground towards second base. Waiting for it is Conley. She flips it to Alyssa De Silva at first base for the out that ends the inning, but a huge solo home run by Ali Pierre-Gustavo with 2 outs in the inning gives Milford an opportunity to close out this game in the 7th. They lead it 2-1. An exciting conclusion on the way next here on Milford TV. Allie Atherton returns to the pitcher's circle for this top of the 7th inning, with her team leading this game by a score of 2-1. 3 more outs to get, but it will not be easy as this is a line drive down towards the left field corner. Digging for second base is Olivia DiGiacomo. She will get there with a stand-up double. So after the first 6 innings of this game had played out the way they did, you did not think that this 7th inning would go quickly and quietly. First pitch swinging, the number 9 hitter Olivia DiGiacomo lining a double down into the left field corner. And just like that, Franklin has the tying run in scoring position with nobody out and the top of the order coming to the plate. Here is Erin Hanley. Led off the game with an infield single. 1 for 3 on the day, turning to bunt and sends it foul for strike 1. Allie Atherton has faced some difficult situations throughout this game. Looking to dig deep to try to record these final 3 outs. Here's her 0-1 pitch. This bunt quickly out to third base, scooped up by the third baseman, Maddie Bonvino, actually taking over at third base is Bonvino. She had been playing second base to this point in the game. But she's able to record the out at first base, but moving on to third now with 1 out is DiGiacomo. So it is Maddie Bonvino now at third. Jill Powers into the game at short with Emily Pierre-Gustavo moving over to second base. So a different looking defensive alignment here in the 7th inning for Milford. And a strike dished in to Maddie Conley. Coach DeVito urging his starting pitcher to bear down. Conley has walked, scored a run, and singled in this game. Turning to bunt, she sends it right back to the mound. A low throw into first base. The runner is safe at first base, and in from third with the tying run comes Olivia DiGiacomo. So a squeeze play put on by Franklin, and not only does it work out to get the run home, but the go-ahead run now safe at first base. More of a safety squeeze out of Franklin, as the runner did initially hold at third base to Giacomo, but as soon as she saw Atherton turn to throw to first, she broke for the plate. So credit Hanley with a bunt single and an RBI, and this game is now tied at 2. Still just 1 out in the inning, and again, that go-ahead run for Franklin at first base. We'll see if Conley looks to run. As this pitch is popped up. Aaron Hanley with that sacrifice bunt to get the runner to third. So Franklin using some small ball to tie this game here in the top of the 7th. Now a line drive fouled to the backstop. Gut check time for Atherton. We're dealing with Bree Flaherty here with 1 out, and Sabrina Lamonaco waiting on deck. The 1-2 pitch, this is lifted in the air, foul and out of play. One ball and 2 strikes, the count to the Franklin catcher, with Maddie Conley over at first. Tied up at 2. Franklin scoring the first run in this game back in the top of the 3rd inning. Milford answering back with a solo home run to tie it. Another solo home run in the bottom of the 6th inning, giving Milford a 2-1 lead, but Franklin fighting back here in the 7th to tie it. Here's the 1-2 pitch, a high fly ball out to center field, but plenty of room for Sydney Pounds to make the catch. As Conley retreats back to first base now with 2 outs in the inning. One more out for Atherton to gather here in the top of the 7th inning, with Sabrina Lamonaco digging in. She is 0 for 3. Struck out looking in her last at bat with the then potential go-ahead run in scoring position. No one happier than Lamonaco to see the Franklin offense come through with the tying run here in the 7th inning after she allowed that solo home run in the top half of the inning. Now sends a ground ball to third base. It's a foul ball. The defense on their toes out there for Milford. 0-1 the count. Here's the pitch, and that's in there for a called strike 2 right at the top of the zone. The Milford fans love it, the Franklin fans hate it. It's a 0-2 count on Lamonaco with 2 outs in the top of the 7th. Atherton steps back onto the pitching rubber, stares into Taylor LeBrun behind the plate. Now ready with the 0-2 pitch, and it's in there for a called strike 3, the 2nd time in the game that Atherton has gotten her counterpart looking to end an inning. Atherton does surrender a run in the inning, but it remains tied at 2. The Lady Hawks will have a chance to walk off with the win if they can produce a run in the bottom half of the 7th inning, coming up next here on Milford TV. The 7, 8, and 9 spots due up for the Milford Lady Hawks here in the bottom of the 7th inning. A run here in this inning would end the game in Milford's favor. Otherwise, we'd be headed to extra innings. A First pitch strike from Sabrina Lamonaco into Megan Jakes. And now swinging away and fouling that pitch right off the face mask of the Franklin catcher. A scary sound, but she pops right back up, none the worse for wear. A vicious foul ball catching the Franklin backstop, but showing good toughness. 0-2 count on Jax. Here's the pitch. Outside. A good take by Jakes. One and two now the count to the first batter here in the bottom of the seventh. The next pitch from Lamonaco is fouled away. Something we have seen all day out of both of these lineups. A long, tough at bat. Another 1-2 offering, and this is up high. You would have to think that these arms are starting to get tired for both of these starting pitchers. A lot of pitches. This has been a long, grueling game. Here's the 2-2. Off the end of the bat, foul again. So a similar at bat to what we saw back in the bottom of the fifth inning with Sydney Pounds, just fouling off pitch after pitch. There's another 2-2. This is popped up. It should be playable in foul ground. The first baseman coming over. She snagged it just a couple of feet in front of the visitors' dugout. A good at bat by Jakes, but she's retired on the foul out. And so now here is Maddie Bonvino, 1 for 2. That one hit a solo home run back in the third inning. She takes the first pitch right down the middle for strike one. The third trip to the plate today for the starting second baseman in the game. We did see Bonvino move over to third base defensively in the top half of this inning. The count even at a ball and a strike. Here's the pitch. Hard shot foul off to the right. The number 9 hitter, Jenny Levine, on deck. And another close pitch just misses off the outside edge. And now the home plate umpire going over to have a discussion with the Franklin coaching staff. There have been a couple of close pitches on that outside corner that have not gone Franklin's way in this inning. The home plate umpire saying that the catcher popping up out of the crouch impedes his view of the strike zone. A 2-2 pitch, and it swung on and missed for strike three. Momentarily out of the glove of Bree Flaherty, she applies the tag. Bonvino did not attempt to run to first base. That is the 6th strikeout recorded by Sabrina Lamonaco. 2 outs and the base is empty now for Jenny Levine. Takes a pitch for ball one. She walked in her last at bat, advanced into scoring position on a wild pitch, but was stranded there. Ahead in the count now, 2 balls and no strikes. The 2-0 pitch floated out to shortstop, but the catch made there by Alicia Donovan, and we are headed for extra innings here in Milford. Tied up at 2 at the end of 7, so we will see an 8th inning here between Milford and Franklin when we come back here on Milford TV. This has been some kind of game between these two teams, Milford and Franklin. 7 innings, not enough to decide this one, so we head to the 8th. And it will be Christine Harvey, the designated player, who will lead it off against Allie Atherton, out for her 8th inning of work. The first pitch of the inning coming up, and it's up and away for ball 1. Christine Harvey 0 for 1 officially on the day, but she's walked in her last 2 at-bats. Now ahead in the count, 2-0. Harvey was on second base with nobody out in the 6th inning, but ended up getting thrown out at third base. Now she sends a line drive back up the middle. The first hit of the day for Harvey, and the go-ahead run aboard to lead off the 8th inning. And again, you look over Milford's schedule through these first 8 games of the season. The last close ball game they played was a 2-0 victory over Coyle Cassidy back on April 22nd. Since then, a 7-1 win over Hopkinton, a 17-5 win over Oliver Ames, and a 14-0 victory in their last game over Stoughton. So they have not had a nail-biter like this in their last several games. Turning to bunt as Alyssa De Silva takes a strike. 1-1 the count. No outs in the top of the 8th. Another bunt attempt and another miss by De Silva. The same defensive alignment for Milford that we saw in the 7th inning, with Bonvino at third, Powers at short, Emily Pierre-Gustavo at second, and Allie Pierre-Gustavo at first. Everyone in tight as this pitch misses up high, evening the count at 2-2. De Silva singled in a run all the way back in the 3rd inning. Here's the 2-2 pitch, high again. A full count now on Alyssa De Silva, and the Franklin fans, along with the Franklin bench, getting noisy here in the 8th. Atherton's pitch is driven out to center field, but Sydney Pounds is there to make the catch. The ball's been traveling well out to left field, not quite as much out to straightaway center, as that catch is made by Sydney Pounds for the first out here in the 8th. Now here's the shortstop, Alicia Donovan, a 2 for 3 day at the plate. She swings at the first pitch, flares it out to right field, but that will be foul and out of play. Both Pierre-Gustavos along with Maggie Farrell giving chase. Donovan singled with 2 outs in the 6th inning after that costly base running mistake by Christine Harvey. Here's the 0-1 pitch. This is hit in the air out to left center field, but over to make the catch again is Sydney Pounds. The Milford center fielder taking care of the last 2 putouts, 2 away now in the top of the 8th inning. Christine Harvey was at first base with no outs. She remains there with 2 down, and it will take something from Olivia Haba if we are to continue. Haba 0 for 3. She's flown out to right field twice and struck out looking. One more out to get for Allie Atherton, whose first pitch dips in low, and a nice block by Taylor LeBrun, keeping that ball out in front. We've seen some terrific plays behind the plate by LeBrun this afternoon. This has been a game where literally every pitch and every play has been crucial, and we have seen players step up time and time again. Here's the 1-0, it stays high. The Milford fans imploring Atherton to get this last out, bring the offense back up to the plate. It will be the top of the Milford order who will bat in this 8th inning. But still business to be done here in the top half of the inning. Here's the pitch, inside and low, 3-0 the count. And Olivia DiGiacomo, who doubled to lead off the 7th inning and scored the tying run, waits on deck. Here's the 3-0 pitch, right over the middle. Haba taking all the way. A deep breath from Atherton, ready now with the 3-1. This pitch is swung on, hit out to shortstop on the ground. The play made there by Jill Powers. She fires to first for the out that ends the inning. So Franklin strands the potential go-ahead run at first base after getting that leadoff single. So again, Milford will have a chance to win it if they can produce a run in the bottom of the 8th inning, which will come your way right after this here on Milford TV. 2 runs, 9 hits, no errors for the Panthers. 2 runs, 6 hits, 1 error for Milford, as we are in the midst of extra innings here at Milford High School. The Lady Hawks coming to bat in the bottom half of the 8th inning, bringing the top of their lineup. Sydney Pounds now stepping into the box, working on an 0 for 3 day at the plate. A ground out, a line out, and a strikeout, and she takes a look at strike 1 from Sabrina Lamonaco. These 2 star pitchers remain in this game into the 8th inning. Pounds now takes a pitch inside. They check now to the infield umpire to see if Pounds went around on the swing, but she did not. And the count evens at a ball and a strike. And this one is hit out to right field, but it will hang up for Rachel Cosino, who makes the catch. A line out to right field for Sydney Pounds, and the first out is recorded. And these top 2 batters in the Milford lineup that have been so productive through these first 8 games, hitless so far on the day, a combined 0 for 7. As now Emily Pierre Gustavo steps in, 0 for 3 herself with a pair of Ks. 1-0 pitch, she looks to bunt. It's a fair ball out in front of the plate, and the out recorded at first. And now Coach DeVito coming up to talk things over with the home plate umpire. He thought that ball should have been ruled dead. Coach DeVito gesturing with the foot, suggesting that the ball landed inside the batter's box. The infield umpire coming over as well, but the argument will be in vain. Coach DeVito not happy. Two to three on the ground out. 2 quick outs here in the bottom of the 8th inning, and it will take something out of the red-hot bat of Taylor LeBrun if we are to continue. LeBrun producing half of the hits that Milford has in this game. She is 3 for 3 with 2 singles and a double. Here's the 0-1 pitch outside. So many exciting, intense moments in this game. Taylor LeBrun looking for a pitch she could potentially drive over the fence to end this one with a flourish, but a swing and a miss there, and she's down in the count 1-2. One ball, 2 strikes, 2 outs in the inning. The bases are empty. Here's the pitch, up high. LaMonaco ready with her next pitch. Here it comes. And this is flared out towards first base, but ranging over to make the catch is Alyssa Da Silva. It's a 1-2-3 bottom of the 8th inning for Sabrina LaMonaco. And this game will see inning number 9 when we return here on Milford TV. Allie Atherton has surrendered just 2 runs on 9 hits over the course of the first 8 innings of this game. She's walked 2 and struck out 6. She's experienced only a single 1-2-3 inning in this game. That was all the way back in the 4th. She allowed a leadoff single in the top half of the 8th inning to Christine Harvey before getting Alyssa Da Silva, Alicia Donovan, and Olivia Haba to end the inning. We'll now deal with batters 9, 1, and 2 here in the 9th. Olivia DiGiacomo will lead it off. She led off the top of the 7th with a double and eventually scored the game-tying run. Now sends a line drive out to left field, but Jenny Levine is there to make the catch. So DiGiacomo now 1 for 4 on the day. A relief for Atherton, as she gets the leadoff batter here in the 9th, and now back up to the top of the order again, as Erin Hanley will take her 5th at bat. A successful sacrifice bunt back in the 7th inning to get that tying run to third base. So officially a 1 for 3 day at the plate for Hanley, who has an infield single that came back in inning number 1. A 0-2 count here on the leadoff hitter and center fielder Erin Hanley. The pitch from Atherton is low. Hanley does not chase, even as the situations in this game have gotten more and more intense. These batters have stayed disciplined. One and 2 the count, 1 out and the base is empty. The pitch not close. The count evens at 2-2. Hanley ready at the plate. Atherton ready with the 2-2 pitch. This is hit out to left field. That's going to get past Maggie Farrell and roll to the wall. It's extra bases for Hanley, who stops at second base with a 1-out double. That quickly got into the alley out there in right center field. And 2 bases for Hanley. It's the second extra base hit of the day for Franklin. Go-ahead run in scoring position with 1 out for Maddie Conley, who hits a fair ball down the line towards the corner in left field. Rounding third base and scoring the go-ahead run is Erin Hanley. Back-to-back doubles here for Franklin with 1 out in the 9th, and they take a 3-2 lead. And a conference will take place now in the pitcher's circle as the infield comes in. The top of the order getting it done here for the Lady Panthers. And for Maddie Conley, that's her second RBI in the game. She drove in the game-tying run back in the 7th inning. Now delivers the go-ahead run here in the 9th. So Franklin now looking for some insurance with Conley in scoring position and the number 3 hitter, Bree Flaherty, coming up. Just 1 hit in 8 at-bats out of the 3 and 4 spots in the lineup for Franklin, so it's been the surrounding cast that has gotten it done as this pitch skips into the backstop, and up to third base goes Conley. And it really feels like Allie Atherton is emptying the tank here in the 9th inning. Trying to escape without any more damage done, but a runner at third base now with 1 out. As this pitch is tapped foul right at the plate. One ball, 1 strike, 1 out. A run home so far for Franklin. They pull ahead 3-2 here in the top of the 9th inning. The next pitch from Atherton, and this is driven deep out to left field, and this is gone. A 2-run home run for Bree Flaherty. And this will give Franklin some breathing room now as they will take a 5-2 lead. Everyone's spilling out of the Franklin dugout, and it looks like this will be the afternoon for Atherton. So Atherton heads to the dugout. Kelly Reichert will come on to pitch with the bases empty now and 1 out in the inning. 3 hits in a row out of the top 3 spots in this Franklin batting order. The double by Erin Hanley. She came home on the RBI double by Maddie Conley. And then a 2-run home run, no doubt about it, off the bat of Bree Flaherty. And it's a 5-2 lead now for Franklin. We will step aside as Kelly Reichert makes her warm-up tosses. More next here on Milford TV. So Kelly Reichert now the second pitcher on for Milford, looking to prevent any further damage done on the scoreboard, but 3 big runs put up so far in this inning for Franklin. They pull ahead 5-2. The bases are empty now with 1 out in the inning. Sabrina Lamonaco, who will likely come out to pitch the bottom half of this inning. She hits a ground ball to second base off the heel of the glove of Emily Pierre Gustavo, and that will be the first time Lamonaco has reached base in the game today. 4 straight batters reaching base. We have not seen anything close to a rally like this in the game all day. As this ball is hit on the ground to second base, again mishandled by Pierre Gustavo, and everyone will reach. So back-to-back errors by Emily Pierre Gustavo at second base puts runners at first and second. So Franklin threatening to break this game open here in the 9th. First pitch swinging, this ball is hit in the air down the right field line, but foul. Alyssa De Silva, who's been on base twice. Batting with 2 runners aboard and 1 out. Nothing in 2 the count on De Silva. Here's the pitch, and this is on the ground. Another chance for Pierre Gustavo. She handles it cleanly this time, throws to first for the out. Each runner able to move up, putting 2 in scoring position with 2 outs. The lead runner, Maddie Levine, a courtesy runner for Sabrina Lamonaco. Christine Harvey, the runner at second base. And this ball is hit on the ground foul, wide of first base. Alicia Donovan with 2 in scoring position, 2 for 4 on the day, a single in the second inning, a single in the 6th. She's also grounded out and flown out to center. Here's the pitch. The count evens at 1-1. This game approaching 2.5 hours into the 9th inning. As this ball is hit on the ground to second base, secured in the glove by Emily Pierre Gustavo. She flips to first for the out that ends the inning. But 3 big runs put up courtesy of RBIs from Maddie Connolly and Bree Flaherty. And a 3-run lead now for Franklin as Milford will come to the plate in the bottom of the 9th. We will bring it to you next here on Milford TV. Sabrina Lamonaco looking to finish what she started out here for the bottom of the 9th inning, with Franklin leading now by 3 runs, a 5-2 score. Milford's 7-game winning streak on the line. Allie Pierre Gustavo leading it off. The 1-0 pitch up high. Allie Pierre Gustavo hitting a solo home run with 2 outs in the bottom of the 6th inning. For a time we thought that might be enough to propel the Lady Hawks to a victory, but Franklin has battled every step of the way with Milford in this game. They were able to tie the ball game in the top of the 7th and eventually taking the 3-run lead in the top of the 9th. So now it is Milford seeing if they have a comeback in them. 3-0 pitch on the way. Pierre Gustavo taking all the way, and the count goes to 3-1. This pitch misses for ball 4. The leadoff runner is on. Lamonaco had retired the last 7 batters she faced, enjoying 1, 2, 3 innings in the 7th and 8th. And allowing just her 2nd walk of the game. And now here's Maggie Farrell, who takes a called strike 1. Farrell singled back in the 6th inning. A 1-for-3 day. Takes a pitch outside. Allie Atherton, the starter for Milford, lasting the first 8 1/3. Sabrina LaMonaco trying to go the distance. Battling to a count of 1 ball and 2 strikes against the Milford right fielder. As this one is hit hard on the ground to second base, they throw to second base and the ball gets away and everyone's going to be safe. Maddie Connolly looking to cut down the lead runner at second base, but throws the ball away. Allie Pierre-Gustavo safe at second base. Maggie Farrell safe at first. Reaching on the fielder's choice, an error by Connolly. It's just the first error in the game for Franklin. And it will allow Milford to bring the tying run to the plate. So once again, just when you think the game might be at hand, the other side battles back. 2 incredible opponents on the field here this afternoon. It looks like we'll see a pinch hitter after the conference inside the pitcher circle concludes, as Jill Powers has a bat, talking things over with head coach Steve DeVito. Jill Powers, no stranger to high pressure at bats, coming through with an RBI hit, leading to one of Milford's 2 state titles a couple of years ago. Powers takes strike 1. The next pitch, that went in low, but Powers sending it foul. Caitlin DeCapua had been 0 for 3 out of this number 6 spot in the lineup. No outs in the inning, runners at first and second base. Here's the pitch. Slow roller foul down the third base line. No balls, 2 strikes, no outs in this bottom of the 9th inning. Here's the pitch. Off the end of the bat, slowly rolled towards second base. The only play is at first. Connolly flips to De Silva for the first out of the inning. The runners advance to second and third. So a productive out for Jill Powers. And now here is Megan Jakes. A called strikeout in the 2nd inning, a ground out to second base in the 5th inning, and a foul out to the first baseman in the 7th inning. That has been the day so far for Megan Jakes. She has been out of the game defensively since the 7th inning. Started the day at third base. Here's the 1-0 pitch, down low. Gets away, but not far enough for the lead runner to try and score. Allie Pierre-Gustavo remaining at third base. Not taking the chance. Not a lot of foul ground behind home plate. But Jake's ahead in the count, 2-0. The fans still in it. The Milford bench still in it. Here's the 2-0 pitch. And it's low for ball 3. A walk would load the bases and give Milford a chance to bring the potential winning run to the plate. Here's the pitch, and it's outside for ball 4. And the drama continues. Milford loads the bases with 1 out in the inning. They bring the winning run to the plate, in the form of none other than Maddie Bonvino, who has a home run in the game today. It came back in the third inning. Bonvino 1 for 3 overall on the day. Since that home run, she's grounded out to third base and struck out swinging. Coach DeVito getting a little extra speed on the bases at first. Shannon Cormier, the runner at first base now for Megan Jakes. And now Bree Flaherty talking things over with her starting pitcher, Sabrina Lamonaco, in a jam here. 1 out in the bottom of the 9th inning. It is a 3-run lead for Franklin, but the bases are loaded with 1 out. And the number 8 hitter, Maddie Bonvino, about to see her first pitch. Here it is, and it's a called strike 1. Lamonaco back into the windup. Here's the pitch. Flared foul and out of play off to the right. So 2 quick strikes on Maddie Bonvino, with the number 9 hitter Jenny Levine on deck. Nothing into the count. Here's the pitch, and it just misses outside. The Franklin fans in disbelief of that call. They have not been a particular fan of the strike zone today. Now a 1-2 pitch, this one further outside. No argument on that pitch, clearly ball 2. Pierre Gustavo, Allie Pierre Gustavo, the runner at third. Maggie Farrell, the runner at second. Shannon Cormier, the runner at first, as this pitch is lofted out to center field. That gets down for a base hit. 1 run comes in to score. Coming around from second base is Farrell. She will score. And into second base on the throw goes Maddie Bonvino. It is a 2-run single, and it's back to a 1-run game at 5-4 with the winning run now in scoring position. Three RBI now in the game for Bonvino. It's an RBI single. She takes second base on the throw. Shannon Cormier is now the tying run at third base, with Bonvino the winning run at second. And now here's Jenny Levine, who takes a called strike 1. How much more drama can you stuff into this game this afternoon? Here's the 0-1. It's in low. Olivia DiGiacomo playing in tight at third base, charging in on the slash hitter Jenny Levine. One ball, 1 strike, 1 out in the inning, 2 in scoring position. Here's the pitch, and it's floated out to shallow left field. The catch made by Olivia Haba. They catch the runner too far off the third base bag, and she just dives back in safely, does Shannon Cormier. Nearly a game-ending miscue on the bases, but just gets that hand back into the third base bag. So Levine pops out for the second out of the inning. The runners remain at second and third, just barely. And it all comes down to the leadoff hitter, Sydney Pounds, now taking her 5th at bat of the day. She is due for a hit in this game, 0 for 4. A ground out to the pitcher in the first inning, a line out to center field in the third, a swinging strikeout in the 5th, and a line out to right field in the 8th inning. Pounds coming into the game this afternoon hitting well up over 400. Hitting 458 to be precise coming into the game as the Franklin infield talks strategy out in the pitcher circle. And everyone retakes their positions in the field. Milford gathering 2 runs in this inning. They have the tying run at third base, the winning run at second base with 2 outs now in the inning. And Sydney Pounds ready. And she takes the first pitch low for ball 1. Milford hitless out of the top 2 spots in their lineup today. Two and 0 now the count. And essentially an intentional walk going on here to Sydney Pounds, electing to put the force play in order at any base. And ball 4 is issued, so Sydney Pounds heads down to first base. The bases are reloaded. Franklin rolling the dice here, opting for the intentional walk of Sydney Pounds to deal with the hitter who led the Hockomock League in batting average heading into the day this afternoon, Emily Pierre-Gustavo, and she takes the first pitch for strike 1. Emily Pierre-Gustavo has not been comfortable in the batter's box against Sabrina LaMonaco today. 0 for 4 with 2 strikeouts. Here's the pitch. It is popped up and over the backstop and out of play, and a quick 0-2 count. Emily Pierre-Gustavo and the Lady Hawks down to their final strike, and Coach DeVito trying to calm the nerves of the freshman Emily Pierre-Gustavo. A deep breath for Pierre-Gustavo as now she steps back into the batter's box. No balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs in the inning. The infield umpire repositioning before the next pitch. Now another official timeout called. And now we are set to go. The 0-2 pitch on the way, and it's up and away. One and 2 the count. The game hanging on every pitch now. Here's the 1-2. It's outside for ball 2. And absolutely excruciating moments here from all sides. The fans absolutely on the edge of their seats. Everyone standing in the dugouts. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs in the inning. Here's the pitch. And a borderline pitch. Ruled ball 3. And the home plate umpire now talking to the Franklin catcher, who must have voiced her frustration. Now we'll look into the Franklin dugout. A very close pitch. Ruled ball 3. So here we go. A full count. 2 outs in the inning. The runner's on the move as the pitch is up and away for ball 4. A bases loaded walk. And the game is tied once again, 5-5. And so now more issues erupting from the Franklin dugout. The home plate umpire now urging the Franklin coaching staff into the first base dugout. The coaching staff for Franklin beside themselves with the calls in that last at bat. A couple of borderline pitches, but they go Milford's way. A bases loaded walk for Emily Pierre-Gustavo, and we are tied once again at 5. Cormier coming in with that tying run, and now a chance for Milford to win it. As LaMonaco issues ball 1 to Taylor LeBrun, who is 3 for 4 so far today. Here's the pitch, it's popped up. Foul and out of play off to the right. 1 ball and 1 strike. Bonvino now the runner at third, Pounds at second with Emily Pierre-Gustavo at first. LeBrun, the 9th batter to come to the plate in the inning, hits it high and far, but very foul off to the left and out of play. 1 ball and 2 strikes now the count. Can Milford win it here, or will we see inning number 10? Here comes the 1-2 pitch, and it's hit in the air out to right field. A long run into foul territory for Rachel Cosino, but that is out of play. Taylor LeBrun, one of the co-captains of this Lady Hawks team, looking to deliver the comeback victory. Hanging tough with a count of 1-2. That winning run at third base. Here's the pitch. And that is in there for a called strike 3 right at the top of the strike zone. And so now it's Coach DeVito who is getting the warning from the home plate umpire. Tensions rising by the minute here at field level. The strike zone being criticized on both sides. But that strikeout ends the inning, so Milford strands the bases loaded, but they come through with 3 runs in the bottom of the 9th inning, and we will move on to the 10th, tied at 5. You don't want to go anywhere now. Stay here on Milford TV. If you're only just tuning into this game now, you have missed one of the most epic softball games you will ever witness. Into the top of the 10th inning. A 5-5 score. Franklin had taken a 5-2 lead into the bottom of the 9th inning, but Milford battles back, sending all 9 batters to the plate. Scoring 3 times, getting a couple of borderline pitches to go their way on a bases-loaded walk by Emily Pierre-Gustavo that tied the game at 5. And that is where we are now, as Kelly Reichert heads out to the pitcher's circle for this top of the 10th inning. She took over in the top of the 9th. Both coaching staffs have been at times irate over some of the calls from the umpiring crew, but staying civil with one another as they actually talk things over down the third base line before the first pitch of this inning is thrown. And the first pitch is a called strike into Olivia Haba, who gives a look back to the home plate umpire, not liking the call. And now a pitch well inside, evens the count at 1-1. It is now 6:30 in the evening as this game continues. Not a whole lot of daylight left as we head on to the evening hours. A 1-ball, 2-strike count. Reichert ready with the next pitch. It's on the ground slowly under the glove of the pitcher. Pierre-Gustavo there at second base makes the play and makes the throw to first base for the out. One down and the base is empty. Haba retired, now the number 9 hitter, Olivia DiGiacomo. 1 for 4, sends a line drive right back to the pitcher, and Reichert is able to snag it on the way by. A hard line drive. That ball caught Reichert more than she caught the ball, but it goes as out number 2. 2 up and 2 down here in the top of the 10th. But back up to the ever dangerous top of this Franklin lineup in Aaron Hanley. It was Hanley's 1-out double in the top of the 9th inning that got the 3-run rally started. She takes a pitch for a called strike 1. Reichert winds and deals. This is a line drive. Caught at shortstop by Jill Powers. A lengthy frame out there at shortstop for Powers, and she needed every inch of it to reel in that catch. It's a 1-2-3 inning for Kelly Reichert. Can the Lady Hawks come through with a victory? We'll find out next here on Milford TV. Allie Pierre-Gustavo leads off the bottom half of the 10th inning, taking a called strike out of Sabrina Lamonaco, continuing to work on the mound for Franklin. Takes the 0-1 pitch low, it skips to the backstop, and the count evens at 1 ball and 1 strike. Tim Coet here on the call. Rob O'Keefe working hard on the camera through all 10 innings of this game to this point. As we bring you coverage of Milford High School athletics here on Milford TV. It's an unbelievable ball game, running out of adjectives to describe the play that we've seen out on the Milford softball field this afternoon into this evening. 2 balls and 1 strike now the count. You can make it 3 balls and a strike. Lamonaco's next pitch is hit high in the air, out to left center field, going back towards the wall, and it's gone for a home run! A walk-off home run by Allie Pierre-Gustavo, her 2nd home run of the game, and the Lady Hawks walk off with the 6-5 win. Everyone out of the dugout to congratulate the captain, Allie Pierre-Gustavo, the senior, coming through with a solo home run to lead off the bottom of the 10th inning and send the hometown fans home happy. What a day, what a game, what an effort from both sides. It was a playoff atmosphere right from the first pitch. A terrific effort out of the Franklin Lady Panthers, who worked hard all the way, but credit the Lady Hawks. And for Milford, a team that has been playing from ahead most of the way this year, had to really work hard in this game. They overcame a 3-run deficit in extra innings to force it to this bottom of the 10th. And Pierre-Gustavo, the hero, a solo home run to lead this team to the 6-5 victory. 2 home runs in the game for Pierre-Gustavo. The senior stepping up when she needed to the most. Well, this will wrap up an epic broadcast of Milford High School sports here today on Milford TV. The win is going to go to Kelly Reichert. The loss goes to Sabrina Lamonaco, despite a terrific effort on the mound for Franklin, pitching this entire way for the Lady Panthers. So the win improves Milford now to 8-1 on the year. And Franklin dips below 500. They are now 3-4, but again, still a tough road ahead for the Lady Hawks, with a series of challenging Kelly Rex opponents ahead, but they will relish in a terrific victory here this evening. A 6-5 win in 10 innings over the Franklin Lady Panthers. For Rob O'Keefe, I am Tim Coet. Again, that final score one final time in 10. Milford wins it 6-5. This has been a presentation of Milford High School Athletics on Milford TV. So long, everybody.